Hey everybody, this is my very first bread video and I'm really excited. So the first thing I'm going to show you all is how to use a meal, because all the flour that I do use in my recipes and everything is fresh milled. So this is my Nutrimill. I do have a blog post already about the Nutrimill, but I wanted to show you in real life how this puppy works. First, I will tell you, you should not meal anything oily in it ever, like nuts or flaxseed or anything like that. But it actually has a neat little note down in here that says, do not meal flax or any other oily seed. So you won't forget. And I actually store a pastry brush in here. So first off, I'm going to meal, because I'm getting ready to make sourdough, I'm going to meal hard white wheat. And I will give a link for the different kinds of wheat as an explanation so that you will know. But when I make a yeast bread, I use hard white wheat. Now, Lowe's. I keep all my bulk foods in 5-gallon buckets with Gamma Seal lids so that I don't worry about anything getting in here. And I usually buy 25 to 50 pounds of wheat at a time. So most of my buckets are food grade. This is from Lowe's and it's lined with a food grade plastic liner. So I just dump my wheat down in there. These lids are very tight. They just twist off. As you can see, I've still got and then my wheat is down in here. See? And I'll just pull out. Now, I need 6 cups of, or 6.5 for my sourdough. So I'm going to have to do math. This is great. For 1 cup of berries, you're going to get about 1.5 cups of flour. So if I need 6 cups of flour, I need, how many do I need? I need 4. I come up with that myself. No, I did not. I need 4 cups of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to put just a little bit extra in there, just to make sure that I have enough, because you never know how much flour you're going to need. Now, I just stick this on here, and I make sure everything is ready to go, that my filter is in place, because if this is not in place, it's going to go everywhere. So make sure your washable filter is in place, and you stick it in here, and make sure it's pushed all the way in. Now, those are very easy to fix back. I store those in the basement. Now I'm going to turn this on. I always use the very finest setting. I think a lot of people like to use, this is the motor, how fast it goes, which is how fast, and the feed rate is how fast it feeds your grain through the grinder inside. Now, if you want it to be coarser, you want it to feed through faster. You might do that if you wanted to grind cornmeal, but I don't even use that for cornmeal. I grind everything, I just turn it on until it starts, and that's how I grind everything. Now, a lot of times, this is very non-dusty, but it does create some dust, so you're not going to have like this cloud of dust everywhere all over your house. I take my kitchen towel, whoop, and I drape it over, because I know my filter's on this side. I just drape it over right here, and then I start it, and then it cuts down on any residual dust that might come out, which isn't very much at all. This can hold, I think, 21 cups of ground flour. I don't think I have ever ground that much. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, and then we'll do a time lapse so you don't have to hear it all, and then I'll show you what it looks like whenever it's done and tell you how I clean. So here we go. It is kind of loud. Towards the end, when you're grinding your wheat, you're going to hear it take on a different pitch when all the grain has gone through. So let's listen and you'll hear a difference. It goes up in pitch So you know your grain has gone all the way through. You let it run about 5 to 10 seconds. Before you turn it off. Now the reason that you let it run at that high pitch is because you've just cleaned your motor. It's a self-cleaning motor, so letting it run a little bit with nothing in it cleans the blades and everything in there for you so that you're all done. And I have very little, if any, I see a very few specks of flour right here. And so my flour is ground. The reason that we decided on the Nutrimill instead of the Whisper Mill, because there are a lot, but there are two main meals that you can get, the Nutrimill and the Wonder Meal. I think some people also call it the Whisper Meal. We decided on this one because the higher capacity of the canister in the bottom for more flour, and also because on the Whisper Meal, once you start grinding, you cannot turn it off. And for me, that's a disaster waiting to happen, because I would put something in there and there would be some major catastrophe, like I would drop a measuring cup or something in there. So that was why we decided on this one. Now, I can go ahead and take this out. There's going to be some static electricity, so every time you take your bowl out, you want to tap it a few times, and there is some flour on top here. I always dust this out. That's why I keep this pastry brush in the top. I pull it out. I use it to clean things out and clean things off. Just make sure the baby doesn't get a hold of it and start chewing on it. This is a washable filter. Now all my flour's down in here. And I brush this off just a little bit too. Now I do not really clean my mill very often. I guess you could if you wanted to, but I use it almost every day, so that seems kind of silly for me to do. All I do mainly is brush it off like this. This that catches in this cup is still good flour. So I just tap it down in here so I can still use it. I put this back on. And then whenever I'm done with the flour in here, I just wipe it out with a dry towel. Now, if you'll look down, I hope Barry can get this, you can look down in here and see the different color. Hopefully it's darker in some spots and lighter than others. That's the bran and everything. That's the bran and everything all in there together because you ground the whole seed. So what I usually do before I use it is I take a whisk and I mix it all together so that I'm, flour mess right here, all together. I usually only grind what I need when I need it, because as soon as you break open that kernel of wheat, it starts oxidizing. It's kind of like a banana. As soon as you open the peel, it starts turning brown. As soon as you break open the kernel of wheat, it starts oxidizing and you're losing your nutrients. So you want to grind it and use it. Once you bake your loaf of bread or your muffin or your pancake or whatever, the nutrients are still inside, so you're good. So meal and use. You can meal and put it in the freezer. That will slow down. It won't stop the oxidation process, but it will slow it down. I always keep some in my freezer just in case something pops up and I need some, because it's always going to be better even out of the freezer than to use store flour. Now, this is the equivalent, if you buy it at the store, of white wheat, like King Arthur flour, whole white wheat. Not the whole wheat. That stuff's like a brick. It's a brick. Bread. So I'm going to use this to make my sourdough in just a minute. I'm trying to think if there's something else I should tell you. I told you about cleaning it. I told you about why I chose it. I think these are around about $230 right now. I think is what I saw on Amazon. Of course, you know, with Amazon, it fluctuates. They are worth every penny. And wheat is very inexpensive, even if you buy organic. And you can buy in bulk to save money. We buy from our local Amish store. We place an order and they order it for us. So we don't have to even pay shipping with that. We just go by and pick it up. So you can use this just like you would use anything else. It is fluffier. You know, when you buy flour from the store, it's going to be compacted into its 5-pound container. But this was just milled, so even if you run your finger through it, you can see that it's very, very fluffy and fine. I do have to use a little bit more flour with this than I would use if I used flour out of a bag. I did read from bread bakers that for every cup of flour that you would use from the store, you're going to use about 1.25 cups of fresh ground flour. That kind of varies for me. I just look for consistency, but that's a good rule of thumb for you to follow. So that's all there is, I think. I'll put a couple links for you to read more down underneath, and if you have any particular questions, I'll try to answer those for you. And I think that's all. And I would like to try to do more videos on bread, probably sourdough, hamburger buns, a few other things like that. So if there's anything particular you want to know, just let us know that too. Thanks.